Skip it up and that up. So this is going to be an interesting video because at first when I did the verdict with Mundane Matt talking about the Fine Brothers and their whole React Around the World project, which is now maybe one of the biggest disasters I've ever seen come across YouTube since I've started doing YouTube. When I first heard about it and Matt explained it to me in more detail and I watched their video, I just thought it was, wow, this is a really misguided idea. And that was all really I thought of it. I mean, we made the whole podcast and you can go check it out. I'll have a link to it below in the description. But it seemed like just a horrible idea that was misguided, but it didn't seem malicious. So I kind of stepped out of the whole thing where they're just looking to attack YouTubers pretty much. But then I started coming across some evidence. The first thing I came across, here's a picture of it, was them complaining that Ellen DeGeneres made a React video for her show. And this is actually, I have a screen cap here. This is a tweet from their actual Twitter account. I didn't just get it off the internet somewhere where someone did a JPEG. This is coming off their Twitter account, so it's legit, okay? This isn't some shop bullshit. And this is what they wrote. It's a shame, or if it is, because they were talking to somebody, if it is a shame to not have the Ellen Show reach out to us versus just fully taking it as their own. This happens too often because she had something where kids react to old technology and they thought it was, you know, their idea, so on and so forth. And they were pissed off at that. I'm like, why? People been reacting to shit before anyone knew who the fuck the Fine Brothers were. Like, people can react as a word in the English language. Human beings react to things. Like, you don't own adults, teens, kids reacting to something. But then it got worse because then I'm like, oh shit, like that was kind of shady of them. And then I saw this video from 8-Bit Eric where he had React videos on his channel. His channel isn't primarily that, but he had a few of them. And Fullscreen took down his videos because he was reacting to stuff that the Fine Brothers had and what some other crap too. And Fullscreen, who is affiliated with the Fine Brothers, took down his videos. They're either blocked or whatever the case may be. I'll have a link to his video. He has evidence in the video. It isn't just him talking about it just to, you know, he's trying to ride a bandwagon. He has evidence where Fullscreen took down his shit. Now, of course, the Fine Brothers, after they saw how big the backlash was, the negative backlash was to their React Around the World announcement video, they made a follow-up video, basically, you know, damage controlling their announcement. And one of the interesting things was that they said, we're not trying to, you know, copyright or own the idea of React. It's basically like if you want to start a restaurant, if you want to start your own restaurant and you want to become successful that way, great. But if you want to start a Burger King, we're just giving you the tools like the logo and other things to work with. But if I remember correctly, now the FAQ has changed. When they first put that FAQ up, when Mundane Matt and I were talking about it, they weren't offering you shit. They're saying, we're not giving you assets at this moment. They changed it now. This is what it says now. Can I use your graphics and logos? We are working to make options available to produce your shows, from new graphics packages to existing assets we use for our own shows. That wasn't the case a couple days ago. And I think that was what blew me away was, so you just want money for people doing reaction videos and you're going to offer them nothing? You guys weren't going to be like a Burger King franchise. You were just saying, oh, you're reacting to something, so we want a cut of it. Now you're changing your tune because you see the backlash and you're realizing, oh shit, we should give them something. But that wasn't the case in the beginning. On top of it too, like I mentioned earlier in this video, you weren't the pioneers of the reaction video. I remember back in like in 07 and 08, and if you look at their channel, they weren't really doing reaction shit back then. As a matter of fact, if you go to their earliest videos, which are from like 8 years ago, and then there was like a hiatus and they came back 6 years later, they weren't reacting to shit. I mean, I remember like 2 Girls, 1 Cup, that nasty fucking disgusting porn video. I'm not putting any links to it. If you want to look it up, go ahead. And people, they had like grandmothers reacting to that. You weren't the first to do this. And on top of it, you can't react. It's something that human beings do. Human beings react to things. You don't own reactions. You didn't pioneer that human response. And obviously, it isn't just people that are blatantly just like, oh, people who the Fine Brothers were like, oh, people who re-up our videos to Facebook. That's what we're really going after. You even said that there's copyright claims right now, and you're going to be addressing them this week or something in your description. So you aren't just looking for people. You aren't just saying, oh, we'll give you all of our assets and stuff, and that's what we were doing to help you grow. That wasn't your initial thing that you were saying. You just wanted people to network with you if they wanted to do any kind of reaction video, because you see outside of what you're doing, like Jinx on YouTube, reaction videos are taking off. So you're not going to be the only show in town or one of the few shows in town anymore. You realize that the reaction content thing is like the bubble's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It may possibly burst, and you want to capitalize on that. That's what you really want to do. YouTube is such a mess right now, man. Between what happened with Channel Awesome and the Nostalgia Critic, where for like 3 weeks they didn't have monetization on their channel from one copyright strike, which I never heard of before. I Hate Everything's channel was straight up deleted. He got it back, luckily. And all the other false copyright claims, and now you have the Fine Brothers basically trying to almost copyright reaction videos. YouTube, at least when it comes to copyright claims and bullshit like this, what the Fine Brothers are trying to do, it's in complete shambles right now. Now, the Fine Brothers are paying the price for making this horrible choice, this misguided, poorly executed React Around the World concept is biting them in the ass, and that's an understatement. They've lost over 80,000 subscribers in the past 2 days. There is a movement on Twitter, hashtag unsub the Fine Bros. It's not working out too well for them. And in a way, maybe if this ends up being really disastrous for them and it hurts their YouTube careers, possibly permanently, maybe this will start waking up YouTube, Google, to say, hey, we need to make black and white lines as to what's fair use, what's not fair use, what copyright infringement is, what isn't copyright infringement. Because right now, the reason why like the Fine Brothers can do something like this is because no one knows where that line is. Everything is a messed, fucked gray area, and that's why you have people that can abuse the copyright system. And if someone puts up a review and it's a developer that doesn't like the review because it's negative about their game, they could take it down. That's why the Fine Brothers to say, hey, we're going to make a network that's not really a network, but it kind of is a network, but it sort of isn't, where if you make a React video, you could sign to this network that's not really a network and give us some of your money. It needs to end, man, because in the end, if it doesn't, I don't care what anybody says, oh, YouTube's the only place to go for user-generated content on YouTube. Right now it is, but it could become MySpace overnight. All you need is some other, I know other companies have tried and failed, all you need is some startup company to figure out all this shit and get it right, and YouTube will instantly become irrelevant, or at least over time will become irrelevant. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.